All right, everybody. Hello. This is my kind of update on my riding for today. Today, what I did was I went to Peace Valley Park. That's near Doylestown. You can see well, when I click on this map here, this is Peace Valley. So it's just outside of Doylestown, adjacent to Ferry Road. So let's take a look at this ride. I call it 3 laps because I did 3 laps. I usually did 2 laps last time I was riding. Of course, I was riding my one speed Schwinn Racer, heavy Schwinn Racer at the time. Just interested, so I went to 3 laps now. That's great. I was having more fun. Lighter bike, easier to ride, longer distance. So let's just take a look at a review of some of the fun part of doing this ride. First, so this is Peace Valley. It's a great trail surrounding the lake. You have on up there's hills. It's kind of nice hills too, because they're the kind where you keep on hitting a curve and then there's more hill. And I always love that when I do hill climbing. Like you think it's over and then, oh no, there's more hills to go. And that's really good training for doing hill climbing outside, which I'm looking forward to when I get outside of my immediate area where I get some larger hills. It's So let's take a look at some of the segments that I did. So here's some segments. Let's see, segments. So I was able to break a lot of my previous marks, personal marks, based on just again I was riding with that one speed bike, but I'm impressed with my inability to beat some of them with my one speed, which is really great because I was really pushing harder. It was interesting because I was, of course, working with a higher gear. So it was a little bit more complicated there. So this is a 1 lap, and this my best 1 lap was 26:12. Obviously, when you compare me to the elitist of the elite people, I'm way off. They're like, here's this person 16.49, and my average speed was 13.6, and this person was 20 21.2. So I mean, I'm nowhere near that. But it seems like there's a division among the cyclists where you have the highest level cyclists, then you have people in the center, then you have those at the lower end. And I'm fitting well within the people in the center group. So let's take a look at, like, for instance, looking at this full leaderboard. I mean, again, I'm focusing on myself here, but this is a 1 lap segment. You can see there's this big hill climb here, and this is awesome. 427 feet. Is that the highest? Yeah, 427 feet. That's kind of a fun hill climb over there. So here's my history. So for this, so I did, much better now. So this is post newer bike. This is older bike. If I were doing a study, I would do what we call an interrupted time series design. So you have these different entries, right? This is called repeated measure design, where you have the same entries, the same person doing things over and over again. And then you have like the interrupted time series where you add the new treatment. The new treatment here in a sense is the new bike. You can see that there's a big change, right? Then of course there's a little bit of a slowing as I got tired after I wasn't going as fast. Well, it depends on the segment too. One thing I like about riding is that if you ride correctly, you'll have plenty of energy to do the things you need to do when you need to do them. Like if you need to, like you're being chased by a wildebeest or something like that. Just kidding. Chased by a dog or something like that. You'll have a power to at least, give it a shot. You're not going to probably run away from them. So I'm 133 out of 483. This is regardless of athletes across time. Among my group, 55 to 64, 19 out of 72. Not so bad. If you're okay if you can see yourself on the first page. That's good. So I'm doing okay. But here's what I meant by that. Let's see, this grouping of people, all time. You have this group that's, high level, very fast. Then you have this clustering of people that's in the center, and I fall within in that group here. And it's hard to see me with 133 over 483. Wait, so who knows where I'm at? Maybe somewhere here. I'm gonna way off. Um, yeah, maybe in 5 or 6. 6. Okay, so in 6, I'll be here, right? So you have this clustering of more normal people. But when we go to this year not so bad, 6 out of 16. And then if I go this year in my age group, there's only 2 of us who did it, so I'm second there. You do all time in my age group, like I said, I'm 19 out of 72, so it's not so bad. So that was a good one. I enjoyed that ride. Let's look at some other fun things. So I go back to the marker for my activities, for the segments, excuse me. I had some fun segments here. I think the my favorite is this Peace Valley Dam Sprint. So there's this Peace Valley has this large dam, and it's a straightaway basically where you can just really let go. I mean, so I enjoy giving that a shot here, right? See how fast I can go. It, so if I look at my times here, I think where do they have different times? All right, so yes, I have to look at the leaderboard. So here it is. Where's my leaderboard? Okay, this is the hill segment. Dam sprint. Let's go. Oh, here it is. No. Dam sprint. Dam sprint. Where's the dam sprint? Peace Valley. Well, let's just go to this one. It's okay. Doesn't matter. All right, here we go. There's the Peace Valley Dam sprint. Go to view the leaderboard. So this is the sprint right here. So again, we can create these ourselves, right? These segments. And if we look at this, there's some incline, a little bit of decline. So it's a nice place to work out. So these are the 3 that I did today. And the second one was my best, followed by the third. If you compare my prior rides before getting the new bike, I wasn't, doing as well. But it makes sense to me. It's a lighter bike, easier to maneuver, just easier in every way. 318 out of 2,808, not so bad. I like that. I mean, this top riders are 48 seconds, so I'm nowhere near these folks. I don't even know how old they are. But, again, there's a lot of really good older riders. If I go to my age group, I'm 30 out of 47. Whoever this Carly person is kicking butt. I love it. Or did back in 2019. That's a while ago. If I go under my weight class, I always like to look at my weight class as well. So 47, 72 out of 420. Then we go to this year. Let's go to this year. This year I'm 13 out of 151. Not bad. 13 out of 151. Again, I don't know where these people are riding. They may be doing some mega 100-mile ride, and this is just like a little piece of the ride, and they're just, putzing around. But you never know. I mean, or they could be doing just this and nothing else. I mean, it's hard to tell. So this is this year, and then under my age group this year, number 3. There we go. And then under my weight group, I am number 5. I always like this one because I could transcend different ages. So there could be, some young folks in here, and I can still beat them. Hey, listen, as for an old guy, I do okay. I'm not the best. I don't even have a drop down handlebars. So I'm actually going to modify the bike to get those. I don't have clipless pedals. I'm using just regular pedals. I'm probably going to add clipless pedals soon. Just going to find ways to trust myself that I'm not going to mess up too many accidents. And then, so there's a couple things I'm going to do. I'm going to do some modifications. They're coming soon. but still, and I don't even wear like all the cycling stuff that people wear. Just wear regular shorts and stuff like that. But so there's things that I could probably do that would enhance my ability to go faster. But for an old guy who does things on his own without using a lot of extras, I do pretty well. I think the important thing to note here is that riding and saving energy at the right times will promote better performance in the long run. Know how to save energy without having to stop. You don't need to stop to save energy. You never want to stop pedaling. That's the worst thing you can do, stop pedaling. That'll actually tighten your muscles. You want your muscles to stay flowing, especially if you're going downhill and it's cold. You need those muscles to keep on moving, right? So I'm always like pedaling, always pedaling and trying to keep the 180. I mean the 80, excuse me, revolutions per minute. Today I was 81 throughout the whole ride, so that was really good. So you want to keep that 80 RPMs, right? Uh, never get out of that. That'll keep you ready for whatever you need to do. So even if I ride that big hill, there's a big hill here. When I rode up that big hill, and I think right here, north, the entire side north. Let's check that one out. When you're riding, up hills, you're going to be fresher, right? Because of keeping that 80 RPM. So this part here, I'm pretty happy with this. 455 to 1547. This is a long stretch here under you see you get that elevation here, right? 435. That's it. 435 is the highest. You get that elevation, so you got to do a lot of climbing. So this is and then here at the end, there's some breaks for speed. So I was 455. So if I didn't keep my revolutions at 80 RPMs, I would tire out. And I can't imagine that I didn't tire out last year. I was doing like maybe in the 60s if I was lucky, maybe even 50 in the 50s RPMs. But here it's really easy to, with this bike, it's easier to keep my RPMs downshifting when I need to. So here, first of my three runs was my best. You see, I got progressively worse with time. Uh, whereas, so I actually hit the same, I think it was the same 1224, 1222. So almost the same as a prior time as I was getting tired. The last lap I was using mainly as a way to, recover, but also to, just have a little fun there. If we look at how I did, like I said, 455 out of 1547. We go to this year. Well, let's go to 55 to 64. Not bad. 165 to 170. Not bad. This year, 19 out of 55. All in all, right? Yeah, but my speed is 13.4, way off of some of these other folks. So I can make some changes and catch them. So I need to drop about, if I could drop to 30 seconds, that would be cool. Get myself under 11, be able to beat some of these other fine people here under my age group. Yeah, I'm not that far off whoever this person is. That person's really rocking. Like, this is again the when you have that marker between highest level athletes and the rest of us. It's just like, wow, that's just so amazing. Under 165 to fourth. All right. Yeah, so this was a fun ride today. I'm looking forward to more of those. My next ride, I'm hoping is to do on 29 in New Jersey between Frenchtown and Stockton. That's a real popular training area. You can get some good speeds, I hope. And then I want to start climbing more. My goal for the summer is to climb Hawk Mountain. That's a toughie. I heard from somebody that they knew the guy was puking when he got to the top because it's so tough. I'll get there. All right. Have a great day and get out and ride some more.